All right, cool. We're recording. So, thank you guys for jumping in. I won't take up too much of your time. I'll try and keep this down to like 25, 30 minutes max. But thank you for joining in and kind of taking a moment to look through the Diamond Signals tools. I want to kind of show you through something that we've been working on for a little while now and kind of explain why we did it, how to use it, all that kind of stuff. So, for anyone that hasn't who's recently joined Dimers Pro and doesn't know too much about Dimers and what it's all about, we are I guess, a data company. So the official kind of umbrella company is called Cypher Sports Technology. We are a data company. We have been for around about 15 years in Australia previously. So I've got an Australian accent, as you can kind of tell. We've got kind of our origins in Australia. And then once online legal sports gambling came to the US, we created Dimers.com. So Dimers.com has been operating for around about 5 years. We are in the business of sports data. So we have an in-house team of data analysts and data scientists who essentially spend their time creating data models and maintaining those. So we have that for all of the major sports in the US. So as you can see here, oh, what is it doing that? It keeps pausing. So yeah, we have every time I press it pauses. Okay. Let me just double check. Yeah, won't let me press buttons, which might be interesting for the rest of this. Anyway, so we run data models for all the top sports in the US. So basketball, football, all that kind of stuff. Hockey, baseball, and we've been doing that for a long, long time. So over 5 years. And then we recently launched Timers Pro back in March, which is our subscription service with all of that data there. Uh, so to dive into signals and what it is and what it means and the reason why we did it, essentially signals came about when you try and develop a product or develop a feature for a product. You're usually trying to solve a problem. And while this wasn't so much a problem, it was a barrier for people who were new to Dimers Pro, new to sports betting, and new to plus EV betting, or just kind of new to sports models and how they work and what it's all about. And one of the kind of barriers for those guys is that what we're doing for, let's just say, for a sport like basketball, we're running projections on statistical categories, and we're doing that for every game for every player, and that's going to essentially create a bet for almost every player, whether it be an over or an under or a spread or a handicap, money line, all that kind of stuff. And when we display that all on site, on any given day, especially when it's a slate like the NBA, where there might be 13 or 14 games on any given night, uh, it produces up to sometimes 200 player prop bets. And for someone that's new to sports betting and new to sports gambling, that's something that's really, really overwhelming. Especially with our data where people just don't know, they look through the site, but they don't know exactly what to bet on. So we wanted to try and simplify this a little bit and introduce what is essentially a really sophisticated filtering tool, which is Dimers Signals. And what we've tried to do is we tried to, I guess, simplify this a little bit, but also um, put a spotlight on the bets that are popular. So things like touchdowns, things like points scored, Rainmakers, which is sharpshooter is our Rainmaker is our 3.1, sharpshooter is our points scored, board crashes, which is for rebounds, and dime droppers, which is for assists. And then once we hit MLB season, we're going to have the sluggers, which is our home run model as well. So what we've tried to do is we've tried to put a spotlight on those popular sports bets and also set the threshold so that the guys that pop up are just the guys that are projected for big games. So things for, like, say, for instance, we want to put a spotlight on someone like a Karl Anthony Towns here, who we project to hit three pointers, or someone like let's go to Rainmaker. Jalen Brunson, who's projected to score 26, projected to score 32 points by our model. We want to try and put a focus on those guys who are essentially kind of the superstars of the games, guys that are projected for a high amount of points. Not so much the guys that are projected to hit their over on their 7.5 point prop. It's more so the guys that are projected number one to go over on their statistical category, whether it be points or 3 pointers or rebounds or assists, and a high amount of those. So not the kind of the lower kind of threshold guys, more so the higher threshold guys. And as you can kind of see when we look at the sharpshooter category here, it returns these guys that are kind of like the number one primary scorer threat on their team. So when I say that the data is the same or the data is the same, it is still the same model. The model hasn't changed, but we're just kind of putting a spotlight on these popular statistical categories that people bet on, especially for new guys that are more likely to know a Stephen Curry rather than a Tar Eason or something like that. So we've tried to make it simple for the users that are kind of jumping onto diamonds for the first time and categorize these. If you are kind of someone that is already well versed in diamonds and wants to try and find more value, or just wants to navigate away from the categories itself, you can still access that through the all props category here. So we just click on that, and my thing will pause for a second. You'll see when I put on where I select all props, it kind of is the old school way of doing this. So we've got here, you've got the unders still, and you've got much more props there. So you can still filter by all of that. That's kind of the same way as it always has been. But signals is just a kind of a more streamlined way of trying to find the prop bets that are more popular among sports bettors, still leveraging our data and still, just kind of taking what is so good about dimers, but just kind of trying to simplify it a little bit. It says Willie can't see anything. Can people still see my screen? Hopefully you guys still can. Cool. Just waiting for replies. I can't make it large. Okay, maybe it's too big. Okay. Let's see if that works. Okay. All right. So that's kind of the ins and outs of diamond signals. I can open up for questions. I think to request speaking, you can just perhaps just. So I got a question. I can open it up for people that want to submit a voice question as well. So this is included with Diamonds. So this is part of your Diamonds Pro subscription. It's already on there on site. So when you log in, it's just an additional filter. So I think if I can I might try and go to mobile here. And so if we go down here on mobile, the signals are just here. So it doesn't let me click on it without pausing the stream. But if you go to you see the sharpshooter button there, it's just a drop down, and you can just make different choices as to which one you want to do. So I can go to Rainmaker. Okay, so if anyone wants to ask any questions, you can press the request to speak button, and I can answer any questions, whether it be about signals or dimers as a whole. I'm happy to answer any questions for you guys. Okay, cool. Looks like we're good then. So I will. What I'll do is I'll post this recording for everyone to have a look at again. I think we've got some typers here, people typing. But what I'll do is I'll post a recording of this into the Discord, into the announcements channel later on tonight, and you guys can have a look back at it. And if you do have any questions, you can feel free to kind of just send me a message or drop something in the general chat channel. So, will there be? I got this one from that guy. Who will there be any linking from dimers to the sports books? Like we could build a parlay out and add it directly to the sports book. So that's a tool that we have to work on. There are some integrations with some third party companies. So that's a common one we get a fair bit. I know some sports books allow it, like FanDuel have an integration built in, but other sports books don't. So I will raise that as a question for our team as something that was possible to be done. I know some other sites do it, so yeah, I'll put that forward as a as an option or as a request to our data team. Cool. All right, so I think that might be it. Unless anyone else has any more questions. Cool. Thank you guys so much. I'll put the recording up, and yeah, thank you so much for jumping in and going through it. If there's any more questions, just shoot me a message. Thank you.